Well, they closed down the mill and they closed down the mine. They said you can't work but pay your taxes on time. Got 3 little babies gonna starve to death or freeze. We started making white lightning, it was Grandpa's recipe. Run, rebel, run, run to no avail. Run, rebel, run to the Parke County jail.
Hey everyone, and happy first Thursday of 2024. You're here on the Jailhouse Informant live video podcast with myself and my guest,
Yeah.
My co-host, Dr. Christy Sumner.
Hey everybody, thanks for joining us tonight. This is going to be a fun show. We've been looking forward to speaking with this guest since we booked her. So it's going to be a great location to talk about and some very interesting things that they're doing at their jail. But first and foremost, Happy New Year. Happy New Year and welcome to 2024.
Yes, we are so excited to be back here doing the show and starting off the new year with some really cool things that we've been working on, and that hopefully a few of those things we can't quite say just yet, but we'll be able to talk about hopefully, I'm hoping next week.
Yeah,
we'll
I'm
be
hoping
able
so
to-
too. Yeah, we'll
Yeah.
kind of getting ready to finalize a few things, and then we'll be able to share some really exciting news. But we have our investigation schedule up. If you are interested in investigating the historic Scott County Jail, remember, if you book and investigate before March 10th, you get those extra hours for the investigation. And so please get your bookings in. We've already have several on the calendar ready to go, and we still have some openings, so go ahead and book for that special 2-hour extension for the investigation.
Yeah, and we also have extra days on during the months of January to March. Typically, our investigation schedules are Thursday through Sunday nights throughout the year. But with the new schedule that we have here from January 2nd up until March 10th, you can investigate any night of the week, even our weekends.
Yep.
So you'll be able to do that. We're very excited about those extended hours, as well as really just kicking off the new year, because hopefully soon we may even have some extended space.
Yeah, we'll be making that announcement here soon. Sorry, Sally is kind of all over the place right now.
Yeah.
So if you see her running back and forth, she is in a very feisty mood today. But again, thank you all for joining us here on the Jailhouse Informant podcast. A couple of things about our daytime hours, because this is such a hard place to heat, even though we do have heating throughout the jail. We are kind of pulling back our daytime hours. So we will be open for general daytime walk-in hours on Saturdays. And then Sundays through Friday will be appointment only. Same with our flashlight tours and our escape rooms. So just really watch the website and then watch our Facebook page. If you want to book an escape room, let us know. If you want to book a flashlight tour, let us know. If you just want to come and walk through during the day, other than Saturday, please make an appointment with us and we can get you on that schedule.
Yeah, and because we're doing that here in January, we will be offering that every single day during the month of January. Also, the flashlight tours, we will actually have scheduled dates for our flashlight tours on the calendar. So you just go to our tours page and click on that, and we'll have those flashlight tours up. Same with our guided ghost hunts. We're working on a new calendar for the guided ghost hunts where you can come here to the jail and investigate with us for 3 hours. And so we're going to be offering that every single night for the month of January as well.
Mhm.
A couple notes about historic rugby. We are working on that because rugby is outside and it is, the village that you're going to be at. Those walks are by appointment only, and we do require 4 to 5 people minimum to do those, because here on the Cumberland Plateau, we can have some pretty extreme weather sometimes from January to March. So we'll be offering those walks by appointment only, but we will be doing some special stuff with our guided ghost hunts there on special days, because we do have access to the village. The village may be closed, but the paranormal activity still continues on. And so you will be able to do a lot with historic rugby after dark tours from January till March, whenever they end up opening for their full time in mid-March.
Mhm.
So,
yep. So those are really our big announcements. Again, keep watching our website, keep watching our Facebook page for all of those updated things. But we are continuing with our Jailhouse series. We are so excited about this series. And tonight's guest, this is something special. We are going to Rockville, Indiana, to the old jail in Parke County. They also have in the Drunk Tank Bar. So I kind of messed that up a little bit. But Patty's here to tell us all about it in this very unique location. So let's welcome Patty to our show. How are you doing tonight, Patty?
Great. Thank you. How are you guys?
We are fantastic. And we've been so excited to have you as a guest, because what you're doing there at the Parke County Jail is very, very unique and interesting.
Thank you. Yeah, it is. It's a lot of fun too.
Mm-hmm. So go ahead.
no, go ahead.
Well, first things first. So just kind of tell us, who you are and how you came to acquire this really cool place.
My name's Patty Hawley. I'm actually from Southern California, lived in Reno, Nevada, was looking to get to a small little town, something fun, something different, a little more safer. And the old jail inn kept coming up on Zillow for sale. So my partner and I, Troy Riggs, we decided to come out and spend the night, a couple nights, and check out the town and the jail. So we spent 2 nights here in the gangster hideout room. We absolutely just fell in love with it. It is very unique and fun and quiet and clean and comfortable. And it's an experience that you just don't get everywhere. So then we went home and put an offer on it, went home and sold all of our stuff and came here and bought the stuff together. So here we are.
That is fantastic. So have you ever run anything like this before?
No, I have never had a business in my entire life. So this was a whole new learning experience. But I've done very well, and I really do enjoy it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And I mean, just, we have a lot of people who either co-own or own or rent these old jails around the country. And so it's really interesting and unique that you all went the route that you did with the jail that you all have up there in Parke County.
Yeah, it was. We were here. We loved it. We just said, you know what, let's do it. I mean, you only go around once, and this is a whole new adventure and a unique experience. And I'm very grateful that I came here and, settled here and enjoying the jail and the Drunk Tank Wine Bar.
Mm-hmm. Well, why don't you tell us a little bit about the history of the jail itself?
Okay, so the jail was built in 1879. It was a jail till 1998. So 119 years was county jail here. Mm-hmm. In 2010, Deborah Olson, who was in the area, she saw this old door. It's a big iron door in the basement and windows, and she purchased them for $35,000. When she came to pick them up, they handed her the deed to the jail. They said at the time it was cheaper to give it to her for the $35,000 than to get it all demolished. So the story goes, she sat out in her car and she cried for hours. And I think 4 days later, she came through and walked through the jail, and it just came to her to create this inn and make it a unique, fun experience. And that was in 2010. And then the year later, she put in the Drunk Tank Wine Bar.
Wow, that is fantastic. Yeah. What a story to think you're picking up a door and then all of a sudden, here's the deed.
2 doors and 2 windows, but they're solid iron, antique from 1879. So 3 years ago, she put it on the market, and that's when we came out and got the stayed here and decided that this was something that we wanted to do for our new adventure. And I'm glad she's still in the area too. She's supposed to be writing a book about her adventures here, so I'm looking forward to that.
Well, and that's something that you mentioned earlier, that's something that's kind of common that we hear, for her to have purchased the jail and for the 35,000 and the cost and stuff. A lot of people doesn't really realize just how much upkeep and cost some of these old buildings have whenever they're just sitting there. In a lot of areas, it's kind of a common story that you hear, is that people would rather find a sell it cheap or rent it or what have you, just to keep it in operation from being demolished, and coming up with these unique ideas that people are doing.
Yeah. Now, the story goes that she used like 385 gallons of paint and 80 some gallons of primer. It was a filthy, dirty mess. It had not been cleaned up, in years. It had sat here for 12 years, vacant.
Wow.
It took her a lot of work, a lot of creativity, just her ideas and everything. The way she set up the rooms, the themes and everything is absolutely unique.
That is fantastic. Now, so back when it was a jail, obviously it was the county jail. Did it house both men and women in there?
Yes, they had, there was 2 holding cells. One was for women and juvenile. One was for men. Now, I don't know where they housed the women after they went to, got arrested here, because from what I understand, it was just the men in the cell block and then up in the other 2 rooms. The young men had upstairs, I have an apartment. And there used to be, the sheriff lived in the front part with his family. And actually his wife was the cook. The laundry room was her kitchen.
Okay.
But there was a juvenile detention up there in a padded cell. So I do not believe the women were actually housed here at all.
Okay.
Okay.
Gotcha. Now, were there any, famous or infamous inmates that you know of that were housed
The
there?
only ones that I really know of now, people have told me Al Capone and Dillinger stayed here, but I do not have any confirmation of that I've seen. So, but the Hollinsburg murderers were here, and they were the ones who killed the 4 young men in Hollinsburg right outside of town here.
Wow.
In 1977 on Valentine's Day. And they were housed here. And that's the most infamous that I actually know of.
Okay.
Okay.
Wow.
Do you get former inmates that come in and maybe share stories or want to see their former cell?
Yes, the funny part is a lot of the inmates that have come in to talk to us actually would tell us that they were like trustees here, and they would go upstairs into the sheriff's family room with the kids and watch cartoons and stuff. It's just kind of funny. It's a little small town,
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
There also was used to be hangings here in the jail. Back in 1883, Buck Stout got hung out. He was the last one to get hung out in the gallows back here by our garage.
Wow.
And he got hung 1883. Yeah.
Okay. So kind of describe the jail. Is it 3 stories, 2 stories, and how many cells does it
Well,
have?
we have, you walk in, there's stairs to get into everything, of course, here because it's old. It's a limestone and brick building. There is 2 suites on the main level that were the holding cells, and they are king-size bedrooms. They share a bathroom in the hall. Then you go up 2 steps. To the left is the original cell block from 1879. There's 5 small cells, and they're like 7 by 8. And they have a queen size bed. So it's mostly bed and a little walkway to get in. But they're real comfortable, and everything's private. I mean, you have your gel bars on both sides, but they're all covered up. No one can see in your room. They do have 1 restroom at the end of the hallway there. That's one of the cell block rooms on your screen right now. And then upstairs in 1977, they had or 1978, they had a fire up in the padded cell, and Earl was up there. And unfortunately, neither Earl nor the padded cell made it. They had to do some remodeling. So they added 2 rooms upstairs, up 2 short flights of stairs off to the side of the building. And those inmates up there were more self-contained, and they had to have their own toilet, shower, and sink inside, and it had 4 bunks in the rooms. So that's our Bonnie and Clyde and Harley suites.
Okay.
And those have queen size beds in them. Plus, that's matter of fact on your screen right now is Bonnie and Clyde.
Okay.
So they have also an extra bunk inside the room that you could have 3 people in there. So
Gotcha.
Wow.
Right. So for those who are watching, what she's referring to is they've actually converted the inn into essentially or the jail into an inn. So
Yep.
you can stay in each of these rooms or former cells. They are themed, so it is a very unique experience. You can go to Rockville and actually stay in these cells with queen size beds and everything else.
Yeah.
They're very comfortable. And also the walls up there on that second floor from decommissioned battleships from World War II.
Oh, wow.
All
Okay.
metal walls and very cool. My dad used to decommission battleships in the Navy, and I often wonder if perhaps he might have been involved in one of those. I don't know.
Oh, that'd be
interesting.
interesting. So aside from the inn feature of the jail, you also have something very unique downstairs, correct?
Yes, we have our drunk tank wine bar. That is a very fun, eclectic, speakeasy type of a place. If you didn't see any of the pictures, everyone here in the rooms
Let's see.
and downstairs in the drunk tank, they write their names on the wall.
Yeah.
So down in the drunk tank, you will see all these signatures all over too. But it's a very fun place. We have sweet and dry wines, and then we have about maybe 18 to 20 of each variety. So we do wine tastings here for $12. We have souvenir glasses that say Drunk Tank Wine Bar on them that you get to keep with your tasting. It's just a lot of fun. It's crazy. Our bartender, Trina, she is quite the delight down there. She come from out of state for her to harass them, but in a nice, friendly, fun way. And everyone comes in and they just have a wonderful time. If you look at any of the reviews from our drunk tank or the inn even, just everybody loves it. It's fun. They love to come here and just have a good time.
Well, that's fantastic. Now, do you have like a partnership with a local winery, or is there any unique drinks that you have that are specific just to the drunk tank?
We have one, well, we do not, of course, make any of our wines here.
Right.
Well, we have a distributor that we use to get our wine from. Now, we do have one unique wine to us. It's Old Gel Inn Red that is made from Huber Winery in Borden, Indiana, made exclusively for us. And that is a wonderful Concord grape and Merlot wine. It's just right down the middle. Sweet and dry drinkers both love it. It's just a nice, easy sipping wine. So that's the only one exclusive here to us.
Oh, I love that. That sounds fantastic.
It's my favorite, by the way. I just love it and it goes great in a pasta sauce. So
Very
there
nice.
you go. Sell it as a cooking wine.
does.
Fantastic.
Very nice. And I'm actually getting ready to pull up just some pictures from your Facebook page. The all the photos from the drunk tank bar there. Everyone looks like they're having such an amazing time, and it looks like you get a lot of folks in there for the tastings and such.
Oh yeah, we do. We have all these hats. You see them hanging all over. People coming. Trina is always putting on a new hat and an apron or some kind of costume. We have seeing eye dots that we put on our head. We put on mustaches. You never know what we're going to come out of the back wearing. I mean, it's just, it can get pretty crazy. One day some man was in there and he's looking at her and he didn't like the fact that she had on this mustache and this little eye. And she goes, well, I'm sorry. He goes, well, can I talk to your boss? And so I come out with this big eye on and a mustache down here on my chin. And he just started cracking up. It's just what we do. We really have a lot of fun, and we have great wines from all over the state, country, and the world to offer people. So we always have something, really. See, here's people on here with all the crazy hats on. People love it. They like to put the hats on and get silly. We have little areas too, outside and inside, for picture taking with the most wanted sign. We got our little paddy wagon out front. We got another stand up where you can put your head through, and we got a prisoner and a sheriff. So there's a lot of picture taking, and then we got our new wings on the wall that we just got finished right before October for the Bridge Festival. So you can stand there and it says, Old Jail in Parke County on it, and you can take a picture in front of the wing. So it's just kind of fun. We just like to do a lot of crazy things here.
That is awesome. Now, this was the former drunk tank, correct?
Okay, so down there in the drunk tank was evidence room, interrogation, and then, I forgot to tell you about the tunnels. So in the drunk tank, if you go into this one hallway, you can look down through a plexiglass, and there was a tunnel. So that used to be the original solitary confinement to the right. If you go down the tunnel and went to the right, you would be in solitary confinement. That's part of it on the picture there. It is like just a complete dungeon. And then if you went down the tunnel to the left, they would take you underground to the courthouse and bring you up and behind the judge's chambers for court.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. And originally it was for steam heat. The courthouse and the jail were built the same year. So in our garage out here was a steam heat basement, and we had a giant chimney. They did actually knock that down some, but it must have been 60, 70 foot tall. Now it's way down, but they used to run the heat through those tunnels underground to heat the courthouse and the jail. And then when they changed heating and stuff, they then started using the tunnel to take prisoners underground and bring them up and behind the judge's chamber.
Oh, wow. Is the courthouse still there as well?
Oh, yeah. We have a beautiful courthouse. It's really pretty, always lit up, and the clock chimes every hour.
Oh,
Got a clock tower. It's beautiful.
Oh, that's fantastic.
Yeah, it's
Now,
a great town.
When the jail was in operation, what was the capacity that it held?
Well, you had the upstairs held 8 total, and then downstairs would be 10. And so you had 18 that were normally here, 2 in each room of the cell block. And then there were 4 bunks in each room upstairs in those other 2 rooms that were self-contained.
Okay.
Wow. It is such a great building. I think we've got another picture of the outside. So what I really love about like your website and everything, it looks like you cater to so many different people. We've got some motorcyclists here. And so it just really looks like a great place for larger groups to come and, rent the jail and stay there. And so that's what is really neat about this. It just almost seems like a family friendly atmosphere.
Well, it is. Children love it. The kids come; they just think it's going to be so fun to stay in jail. We do get a lot of family reunions, weddings that come here, and they'll even spend their honeymoon night here, their first night here when they get married. We have motorcycle groups that'll come in on a run, and they'll rent out the whole inn for the evening. We get that a lot. We get a lot of people that love to do that because they kind of have the run of the place. The family reunions are always fun. We have Girl Scout troops that come, and they'll rent out like the cell block for the 15-year-old Girl Scouts, and they just have a ball in there. They play games and eat pizza, and it's like their own little world once you're inside there. So it's pretty cool.
Now, do you also have it set up to where you do like historical tours or anything, or do you can only get in if you?
We don't do this historical tours so much anymore. We do have bus tours that come through. We have something we're set up. We have 5 of them scheduled so far for this year. And the bus tour will come, and Trina and I will dress up. I'm the prisoner and she's the sheriff, and we'll commandeer. Oh, it's fun. We commandeer the bus out in the street. She'll say, I got to take my prisoner to jail. And these people normally don't know where they're going. It's like a surprise bus tour.
I love this. Yeah,
we bring them to the jail, and we do a tour with them here and take them down the drunk tank and do a tour. And then we take them to the 36 Saloon for lunch, and then over to Bridgeton Mill down here in town that has beautiful old work. It's a 200-year-old grist mill that has a covered bridge with a waterfall underneath it. We are the covered bridge capital of the world here in Rockville and Parke County.
Wow.
Yeah, we have 31 covered bridges.
And I think that's what is really cool, about what you're doing and what you're telling us is almost seems like a whole community effort. So instead of the jail being demolished and the history lost, you found a way to repurpose it and bring in tourism, which, these towns need, as well as keeping that history. You're doing it in a very unique way.
Oh yeah, it's great. We have a lot of draw here. People come to go to Turkey Run State Park, Shades, and Raccoon Lake State Park. And then we also have the 36 Saloon, which has got a lot of motorcycles and groups that come all year, all summer long. It's a lot of fun. They play music outside. They have live music, and they have a restaurant outside and inside. But yes, it keeps the town alive with these people coming in. We have wonderful antique stores on the square. That's just a lot of fun. We have G&M variety. If you couldn't go in there and find something, then you don't need anything. They have got everything you could think of. It goes on forever, and it's just like going into an old Woolworths or Kresge's and just shopping. It's just so much on the square and in the whole area to do with the state parks and stuff. And like I said, 31 covered bridges. 2 of the covered bridge routes start right outside our door here, and beautiful countryside to drive through and go see the bridges. Turkey Run has Sugar Creek. They have canoeing and kayaking, and you can do just some tubes and float down the river. It's fun. It is really a lot of fun, especially, summertime. But even in the winter, there's so much to do. They just did an ice hike at Turkey Run State Park for New Year's Day, and that was a lot of fun. It's a beautiful area, and yes, it keeps the whole square alive.
Now, are you all open year round, or do you have seasonal hours?
So we are open at the inn year round. The Drunk Tank Wine Bar is open Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. The hours in the winter vary a bit from our normal, but it's on our website what our hours are. Thursday and Sundays 1 to 5, and Friday and Saturdays 1 to 6 right now. But it will go to 1 to 7 in the summertime, probably starting in the end of March or something.
Okay.
The inn's open all year long. I get people here on Christmas Day. I had people here on New Year's Day. So yeah, we're open all year long.
I love
Wonderful.
this.
Yeah.
And, we were talking a little bit before we came on, and you're going to do like paint and sips or something here as well at some point.
We're going to be doing a paint and canvas, a wine and canvas. Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah.
Yeah. We're going to do a wine and canvas in February for Valentine's Day, around that time. I've already got most of the supplies in, but yeah, we think that would be a lot of fun to do.
Yeah.
Get people in here, and it's going to include a glass of wine. I haven't quite decided exactly what the cost is going to be on that yet, but we'll be posting that soon. So. And
where can people find events and information about the inn and the wine, and the wine bar?
So on oldjailinn.com, on our Facebook page under Old Jail Inn, it's INN. And then we're also on Instagram. So we usually will post things on there that's going on. And then, of course, we're always posting funny, cartoons and all of our guests. We love to take pictures of our guests. We try to get them all on Facebook. We always have to ask permission, of course, but they love it. They think it's fun.
Yeah.
Now, are they always wearing the hats before they, like as soon as they come in, or is that more after they've tested some of the wine?
Well, we start out, normally Trina, our crazy bartender, she is so much fun. She will start out wearing either a helmet or some kind of hat, and she'll come in with something else on, then she'll come out with a mustache. And then the guests now, we have a lot of repeat offenders that come in, and and we have habitual offenders too. So they'll come in and immediately start grabbing a hat to put on and have some fun. And we always like it when the repeat offenders bring in someone new, because they don't know what to expect. And so then they end up just having a lot of fun. I mean, it gets a little crazy, but it's always fun and everyone has a good time.
Now, do you all ever have any live music or anything like that?
We did one time have a guy come in and he played acoustic guitar down in the wine bar. That was fun, but we haven't. I'm trying to drum up a few people to come in. I've talked to a few people this past summer about trying to come in maybe and just setting up and doing something nice and light. You don't want it to get too crazy. We do have a piano in there. That people will come in and play if they know how. One lady came in and she had wrote a children's story, the music, the story, and everything to it. It was beautiful, and she played that piano for like half an hour, but it sounded wonderful. Her music was absolutely fantastic. It was fun just to sit there and listen to that. So
That is
Nice.
great.
And I just want to remind everyone over in the comment section, if you do have any questions for Patty about the inn or the bar, please feel free to put those in the comment section, because we're right around 30 minutes in, and so we want to make sure if anyone has any questions that we're able to get to those.
Yeah. So, because it's an old jail, and obviously we're sitting in our jail here in Huntsville as well. And a lot of our audience members kind of like to talk about things paranormal. So, is your jail haunted?
Well, I'm going to tell you, we do get a lot of paranormal groups come in here. They have a lot of fun. They set up their equipment. They do get readings. I've seen pictures of orbs. One got some verbiage that was to do with a sheriff that got killed out in the street. They get a lot of activity. I hear things in here a lot, but it is an old building. I don't know what it is exactly, but I'll hear my name called. I'll hear a door close, stuff like that. But yeah, we get a lot of paranormal groups, and they enjoy coming here. They say they always pick up something. Some record all night long. They'll rent the whole inn for the night and stay in here and do a whole, testing everywhere in the building. And they always come up with some activities. So it's fun. It's never been anything bad or scary that I've ever seen, but they do pick up things because it is an old building and it has a lot of history here,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Now, has any of your guests ever that stayed in the cells, have they ever come down and said, I just can't stay here, or I heard something happen last night? Anyone have any stories like that they've left with?
No one has ever said they couldn't stay here, although I will tell you there's been a few people that have come into the Drunk Tank Wine Bar and got into that hallway where the tunnel is, and it was so heavy in there for them that they actually had to come out of there and go outside. But I've never had anyone in the inn say I couldn't stay here. But yes, I've had plenty of guests tell me that they hear someone walking at night. They hear a jail door closing when no one else is there. Yeah, they hear things, but it's never been anything that anyone's gotten, really scared over or anything. And like I said, kids love it. They come here and they just think it's the funnest place. One little boy, I'll never forget, he was so cute. He was really scared at first. He was, I don't know if I want to stay in jail. So then I saw him the next day and I said, well, how did you do? He goes, oh my God, I had so much fun. I want to come back. I want to stay another night. He just thought it was great. They don't know what to expect,
That's fantastic. Now, were you responsible for theming all of the rooms and all of that? And
no, actually, Deborah did. Deborah themed all the rooms. So we have like Bonnie and Clyde, we have Harley, we have Gangster Hideout, Indian Motorcycle Garage. Those, of course, are themed in the motorcycle theme. We have Elvis Presley, Thelma and Louise. That's my favorite one. We have John Dillinger, Al Capone, and Jesse James. So those are our themed rooms, and they're all just as comfortable and fun as, all the rest. Although the suites, of course, a little bit more room, have windows in the rooms. Some people don't like get in a cell and there's no window in there. It's just more of a little more confined feeling. But most people, like during Covered Bridge, they could care less. They're just here to spend the night and they have a ball. The group, so that they'll come and they play cards and games, and they'll have 50th birthday party was just here recently, and a girls' night. They just did a big girls' night here. So that's a lot of fun when you do the whole inn, because you just have the run of the place. You don't have to worry about being, quiet for another guest in another room or something. So it's always a good time.
Now, if anyone else wants to stay there, do you recommend getting reservations for the room if someone wants to stay?
For weekends, starting usually in April, our weekends will be pretty booked up. See, someone said they want to stay in Thelma and Louise. That is a great room. It's one of the smaller ones, but it's got the most comfortable bed in the cell block. All the beds are comfortable here. But yeah, they should get a reservation, or they could call me and I can help them with a reservation, especially for a weekend. That's when it gets booked up. Mm-hmm. During the week, even during summer, it'll get a little busy, but winter right now is kind of our slower time of year, but the weekends can start getting the suites booked up.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, we're sharing all that information now.
Yeah.
So kind of jumping back to the paranormal just a little bit.
Mhm.
You said you had your name called and all of that. Did you have a belief in the paranormal before you started this, or is this something you just kind of?
Well, I've never really had much of any kind of dealing with paranormal, to tell you the truth. And then when I got here, and some paranormals were coming in, and they were saying, "Oh yeah, well we picked this up and that," and I was like, "Oh wow, that's pretty interesting." And then I would start hearing my name called, and one time it sounded just like my young girl that was helping me clean. And I hollered at her and I said, "Oh, hey, I'll be right there. Give me just a minute." And I come in and I'm looking for her. And Jocelyn, where are you? I go upstairs. She's not there. And I'm like, okay, well, she wasn't even here. And I'm telling you, it was her voice distinctly. And it's usually a man or a woman, or one time I've heard the young girl call my name. But yeah, you said they just called my name. I did have one time one of the doors kind of closed while I was cleaning. And as I walked through, I had to open it and I told him to knock it off. I was busy. I didn't have time for this, and I just laugh about it because it's never been anything harmful or bad. It's just little antics like that.
Yeah, and that's what we experience here. Just little things that they let you know that they're here, but never anything that's malicious or anything like that. It's just they just want you to know, hey, I'm still here.
Yeah, and like I said, it is an old building, so you're going to hear a lot of creaking and this and that. So, I don't pay that much attention to it. I'm usually working and running around in here, and I just doesn't bother me a bit.
Yeah,
Just say, hi, how are you?
Yeah, it's like I said, I just love the whole theme, everything that you're doing here. It's just so unique. When we've been researching jails to ask managers and owners to come on and speak with us, yours is definitely the most
unique
and
yeah.
eclectic of any that we've spoken to. It's just I just love the fact that you're incorporating the history but doing something fun with it as well.
Yeah, and
go ahead.
Please go ahead.
Well, I was just going to say, being right on the square too, you can walk to restaurants and to shopping. It's so convenient for people when they come. We have a huge covered bridge festival that is in the second weekend of October. It starts for 10 days, and we get like 2 to 3 million people come through.
Wow.
We're right on the square, so that everything starts right outside our door. It's just so much to do here. We have a lot of festivals. We have the junk in the trunk on the square where the people pull up. It's like a yard sale. But we have the mushroom festivals, the maple syrup festivals, strawberry festivals, all in the area. There's all little festivals, cruise in. We have a block party in the summer. That's a lot of fun, especially for kids. So there's a lot going on in the square here. The town is really alive with a lot of fun things to do. That's real convenient for everyone just to walk around.
Now, is the downtown area, is it a very historic downtown area?
Oh, yeah. It's a whole historical district here. We're in a historical district. All the buildings are from the 1800s. A lot of them antique stores. We have that variety store. We have a women's clothing store. We have a couple little small places to eat. And then we have the big 36 saloon down the street, which people just love that, especially in the summertime when the live music's playing and they can sit outside and enjoy a beer or have a barbecue. They have their hog pit barbecue in the summer, which is a lot of fun. Here's some of our covered bridges. There's 31.
Wow.
The one with the waterfall is at the Bridgeton Mill, which is a real working grist mill that is 200 years old. Beautiful to go see. The owner in there is really nice. He'll tell you all about the mill, and he makes his own flour and corn mill and everything in there. It's really unique. It's a lot of fun to go see.
That's awesome. I'm telling you, Patty, the Chamber of Commerce needs to give you a commission because you are really selling this place. I want to get in my car and go tomorrow.
Oh, I want to hop on my motorcycle and I want to rent out the Jailhouse Inn there, and I want to go and see these covered bridges and take in some of this food, because looking at this food,
I know, I saw that too.
Is pretty amazing.
Well, the hog pit's fun at the 36. It's a great place to go. Like I said, they'll have their barbecue ribs and their pork and their brisket and chicken, and everything's good. They have hog turds there, but It sounds funny, but it's a jalapeno stuffed with cheese and brisket wrapped in a pretzel. It's
Oh
delicious.
my God.
They have hog slop, which is fabulous with brisket or chicken or beef on it, and or pork. And they have a queso cheese on top with their homemade chips and baked beans. That is off the chart as an appetizer. It's like a whole meal,
Goodness.
actually.
Okay,
It's
I'm
really
going to
good
put a
food.
warning on this podcast for anyone that's watching the rebroadcast of it that they need to make sure they eat before they watch it
Mhm.
because
I'm starving now.
it's like going to the grocery store without eating. I want it all.
It's just this is a great town. There's a lot going on here. It's very much alive, which is nice for a little town.
Mhm.
You know, it's
Yes.
yeah. So we do have a garage, motorcycles. We can park the motorcycles in the garage right next to us
Oh.
here. That's another plus, especially if the weather's bad. A lot of times we have plenty of parking for people. If you even have a little trailer or something, we have plenty of room here. So it's a good place.
Mhm.
A lot of fun.
Absolutely.
I love it.
Well, I definitely, like I said, I definitely want to go up that way and check it out.
Mhm.
I am going to show, or actually, I'm going to show the link to just show again where you guys are located at there in
Okay.
Indiana, just in case folks aren't aware of and haven't been to the area. So you all are right there, what, on the Illinois, almost
about
the Illinois line.
25 miles from the Illinois line, and right there on the square in town. It's right in the center of the state, of course, more towards the west.
Mhm.
But it's beautiful, right off of Highway 36.
Oh,
You know,
brilliant.
it goes quite a ways, so that's nice. And then Highway 41 is also in town, so we have a lot of easy ways to get into town. It's a beautiful drive. Everywhere you drive around here is really pretty. We have a lot of Amish here too. It's a great Amish area with Amish stores, and they're always fun to go to, and the food's good in those too, and they make you hungry. Sure, yeah. You want a good
Wow.
sandwich for like $3.75 is huge. It's wonderful places to go.
Yeah, well, like I said, you've sold us. You've definitely done a great job of representing your community for sure.
And I'm
It's a
going to
great
actually share this Parke County link here in the comments. It's got links to you guys, those other great restaurants that was
Yes.
mentioned, and then just a lot of great things to do. I love the page with the covered bridges that
Mhm.
shows all of that because honestly, I had no idea. I did a lot of covered bridges in Vermont area, but I had no idea that there was so many beautiful
Yeah,
bridges.
we are
there.
the covered bridge capital of the world here in Parke County. Like I said, we got 31. I think 19 or 20 of them you can actually drive through. And it's just kind of fun the first time you drive through one. It's almost kind of weird, you know, and they all say cross this bridge at a walk, and that's because you didn't want to take your horses through there on those wooden bridges going too fast. They always say cross at a walk above every bridge.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
Mhm.
Just great history. And did you really realize that when you bought this jail that it would come with all this great stuff?
I had no idea. You come here for 2 days, you don't really get the whole scope of everything.
Mhm.
And then once we got here and just moved in upstairs and started going through the jail cells and checking everything out, all the little nooks and crannies, it was just like, wow, this is really cool. Back in the tunnel, we have a plexiglass where the customers can't go through because it's already been where the courthouse has blocked the tunnel from being used
Of
now
course.
because of course they're no longer using that. And then you can't really get back in there and see too much, but it's kind of creepy in there and it's very musty. I did not actually go in. I didn't want to, but HGTV came out when Deborah was here, and they did a whole episode with her about the jail. And I think it was You Live in What or something was the show. But anyway, that was pretty cool too to see. Just a lot of history here, and it's beautiful. It's in great shape. The jail's in fabulous shape. People write all over the walls, their names that they were here, and then they come back, especially in the drunk tank bar, they come back and look for their names. That's always fun. They'll look at us and say, "Do you remember where I wrote my name?" And we're like, "No, I don't know where I wrote my name." But then, they'll find it eventually. And they get all excited. So we have people that have come every year, and they just keep adding another year to it. So
That's fantastic.
a lot
So
of people come back
do you actually live on site there as well?
in the
Or-
apartment upstairs.
Oh, great. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
And is that the wagon that's out front there? Is
Mhm.
that an original jail wagon?
No, that was a prop that Deborah put in, and people love, especially the kids. Well, I'm going to take that back. That might be more the adults. They can't wait to get in there and get a picture through the bars. So we have a lot of people take that, but kids love it too. You know, they just say, "Oh, I got to get." When we do Halloween on the square, we get like 900 kids to 1,000 kids come around the square for Halloween, and
Wow.
every one of them want to stop and get in the little wagon and take a picture. It's just kind of cute, you know. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah, it really does. And your enthusiasm for what you do and how you do it, and your community, it is just infectious. So
Well, thank you.
thank you so much for sharing that story with
I
us and
enjoy it.
sharing the history of the jail and what you've done with it. Just congratulations on a
Yes.
really
Thank you.
unique location.
It
Yeah.
is. It's a lot of fun. And anyone, like I said, they can give us a call or go on our website. You can book right online, or you can give us a call and we'll help you out.
Oh yeah, we'll definitely share all of your links and all of that. And we highly encourage anybody who's watching, if you want a unique experience in a very unique little town, go for it. Because I plan on booking here at some point.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's beautiful. There's so much to do with all the parks and the town itself. You'll need at least a few days, honestly, to enjoy everything. So I hope they come out and enjoy themselves.
Yeah, and guys, we've been putting the links there in the comments, but we've also got them there in the show notes. So call that number, check the website for any events, as well as their Facebook page for all the cool photos. You could spend a day going through all the photos there of just the wine tank bar and the folks who have gone there. So we definitely want you guys to go and check that out, follow and like their page.
Yeah, and Parke County too, they will post a lot of the events going on in town. So that's always a good idea too, to check that. Yeah.
Yeah, and we do have that link there as well.
Yep.
We'll also add that into the show notes as
All right,
well.
great. Very good.
So, but thank you so much, Patty, for saying yes to you all. You all were actually, when we were booking for the new year here, you were the first one to actually come back really quick and say yes, that you would be our guest. So we really thank you for that, and have really enjoyed learning more and highlighting this unique location on our series.
Great. Well, I've enjoyed it too. Thank you so much for having me on the show.
Absolutely. You have a great evening.
All right.
if you'll-
Thank you.
Thanks, Patty.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
So everyone, definitely go and check out these pages that we've mentioned on here. They have put a lot of work into that place. And like we talked about, I definitely want to head up there on my motorcycle and check out a bunch of these covered bridges and do some of the rides and stay there at the inn.
Yeah. And, again, that's why I love what we're doing with this series, because, I'd never heard about this place, and to be able to highlight that and to share what they're doing, and keeping this history alive. I mean, as you said, this building could have been demolished. But yet somebody had the foresight to actually preserve it and turned it into something so unique and special. And this is something that the town can treasure and that the people can go and enjoy in a very unique manner.
And again, that's a common story that we're hearing, at least on the last three that we've talked to. The first one when we started back was the old Bleckley jail there in Georgia. And then, of course, last week, old Hamilton County Jail. If you've not watched any of those episodes on it, go check those out and check their pages out as well. It's been the same type of story where these buildings were at risk or in danger of being torn down, and somebody stepped in, bought the building, came up with unique uses for it. And I think last week the county owned it.
Yeah.
And so it's always interesting to see what people are doing to repurpose these old jails.
Yeah. And as Bob said, what a great spokesperson. Like I said, the Chamber of Commerce needs to hire Patty.
Absolutely.
She'll definitely get the word out. So she is a great spokesperson, and you can absolutely tell that she loves what she's doing. And 1879, guys, this building was built in 1879, and you can't replace that. And to go have a really cool glass of wine and a really cool drunk tank bar, and to be able to stay in some of these cells where these stories are, that they're prevalent in the walls. And she, as you know, some of our fans love the spooky stuff. So she said that they do have some resident spirits there. So go and check it out for that too.
Yeah. And so, so again, everyone, we do thank you for joining us tonight on this series here. Let me double check my calendar here. I should have had this pulled up before. I want to see who we have on next week. Next week, we are going to be going to the old Bryan jail and highlighting that. So we'll have a little more information about that in when we put the poster out for that show. Until then, definitely keep an eye on our page. Like we said, we do have, we are shifting our hours here. It sounds like we're closing more, but we're technically not. We're actually opening more days and nights. But the daytime will be, except for Saturdays during the month of January, they will be by appointment only. So if you are following the page, and we'll make sure we put this out there, we'll have a number on there to call. If you show up, we're not open on that day. Don't get discouraged and get in your car and go on. Please call us because both Chris and I are close. And unless there's some type of circumstance or situation going on, we won't, we'll come out and we'll let you in. And so, so definitely, keep an eye out on that and get those dates in for your paranormal investigations. We have opened that calendar. You're really going to want to take advantage of these extended hours. Come in from 7 p.m. Eastern time to 4 a.m. Investigate Monday through Sunday from January 2nd till March 10th. Yep. And, take advantage of our ghost hunt when we get that up as well.
Yep. All right, everybody. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. Again, welcome to 2024. It's going to be a great year. We hope everybody has a spectacular night. Ghost Biker Explorations will be on at 9. So jump over on her page and she has some really cool guests tonight. So make sure you check that out. But again, thank you to Patty for sharing her experiences and what she's got going on there at the jail. And go ahead and book and stay at that really cool place there in Parke County.
Yeah. And so you'll see the number and our website at the bottom of the screen. If you have any questions or anything at all, please don't hesitate to reach out to us because even if we're not here, we are reachable. So everyone, we will see you next Thursday night.
Good night.